Questions unveil your answers for happiness and success.
Appropriately crowned the Queen of Questions and Queries, Susan Bach gives creative presentations that transform your thinking, your business, and your life. Susan delivers thought-provoking ideas. I had no idea the answers were already in me. Her insight, sense of humor, and ability to cut through the distractions is incredible. Help your audience tap into their potential at your next event with Susan Bach, transformational speaker and coach.
I have yet to meet the woman who has surpassed her potential. I had no idea what my potential was until I started asking different questions. And as a result of asking different questions, I was able to engage in different behaviors, think differently about things, and literally step into my potential. It expanded my thinking. I had spent probably the first half of my life being what other people thought I should be, or trying to be what I thought other people wanted me to be. And I decided it was time for me to get to know me and to be who I wanted to be. And once I accepted that and stepped into my potential, the opportunities have just abounded.
I really connected with Susan as a presenter because she brought in lifelike experiences and humor. Many times we don't get the humor in our daily issues, and it really helped myself as well as others in the audience to see different aspects of the actual issue and help us to think out of the box. And Susan's really great at that type of thing, so we enjoyed that very much.
Please raise your hand if you are the CEO of your company. We have about 25%. Good. Raise your hand if you are the CEO of your life. Ooh, maybe 15-20%. Raise your hand if you would like to be a CEO. Good. We're almost at 50%. Here's a great truth for you. You may not believe it, like it, or accept it, and yet it's true. And that is, you are the Chief Executive Officer of your life. How are you doing so far? How does that scorecard look? Have you exhibited the talents, the traits, the attributes that you would attribute to a successful CEO? Have you engaged in forward thinking? Have you been conscientious of the bottom line? Do you know what the true purpose and message is for your company, for your life? That's where a lot of us get stuck. So right now I'm going to ask for one brave soul to raise your hand, come up on stage, and be willing to work with me for a couple of minutes to help discover what will make you the CEO of your life. Oh, we have a brave soul over here. Please, come on up. Hi.
Hi, Susan.
Who are you?
My name is Shelley.
Shelley, thank you so much for having the courage to come up here today in front of this audience. How are you doing?
I'm terrified. but this is about transformation, right? So I'm trying to be brave. I want to truly change. I'm inspired.
Congratulations, and I want to honor that. Let's give her a round of applause for being this brave soul who is willing to step into her discomfort for the purpose of moving forward. Great. You hang on to this.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you a question.
Okay.
You have a choice. Choices are important. Could you please share with me your 3 favorite books or your 3 favorite movies?
I'm going to go with movies.
Good, okay.
Do I just tell you the name?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the first one is a movie called Only You.
And tell me a little bit about that.
Well, it was with Marissa Tomei and Robert Downey Jr., and it was about destiny and love, but most of the movie took place in Italy.
Ooh.
And it actually inspired me to go to Italy.
powerful impact on you then.
Yes, and I
Good.
actually went to the cities that were in the movie, and the theme song of the movie was my wedding song. So
Wow.
I love that movie.
Great. How about number 2?
Number 2, October Sky.
And what did you like about that?
October Sky was a movie where it was a bunch of teenagers living in a coal mining town. And what I loved about it is they wanted to build a rocket ship. And it was really inspirational because it was something that was almost impossible to achieve, and they achieved what was seemingly impossible.
Terrific. And how about number 3?
Number 3, now this one's kind of very different, but this is one of the classics. I've always loved Rear Window.
Ooh.
That's an old one. I don't know if you're familiar
I
with
am.
it. Okay.
But please tell me why you like that.
I think I like that one just because the old Hollywood glamour. I mean, Grace Kelly, Jimmy Stewart, and just the style, and then there's the mystery. And I don't like the horror films of today, but that one was a horror film that I could deal with it. I got scared, but I didn't need to run and cover my eyes.
I often do that in some of the movies today.
Yeah, they're a little graphic today.
Great. You did fantastic.
I did good?
You did. Thank you. All right. So what I would like to do now is engage with you just for a moment
Okay.
on what I heard you say about what was important to you, and then ask how you show that in your life.
Okay.
Okay? Next step then, keep in mind we're the CEO of our life. What action did Shelley take as a result of these movies? One thing is she went to Italy. That's pretty successful, right? She had a goal, she saw it in a movie, she created this, she took charge. This would require forward thinking, planning, budgeting, everything you do in a company. She applied that to her life. And the third movie, the thriller, which we have to admit, we all have some thrilling times in our lives. It's not always smooth sailing. She was able to engage in that, go through the rough waters of the uncertainty in the movie, and come out intact. So for me, I would say that Shelley is a very successful CEO of her life.
Wow. I am just oozing with energy right now. I came here today thinking, oh yeah, I might learn some sort of cool stuff. And I have to say, I am walking away from today totally inspired, totally excited. I really felt, I went up on the stage today, and that was terrifying for me, but it was great. I feel like I did something, I achieved something, and Susan made it such a safe environment and really inspired me that I am a CEO, and I didn't realize that something as simple as going on a trip to Italy, I didn't realize all the pieces and parts that I really went through to make it happen, and how if I can just take those same concepts and apply it to my day-to-day life, I can really make a difference, and I can really take charge, and I can really take my business to new heights. So thank you, Susan. I am totally inspired, and I can't wait to see your next presentation.
Susan has just what you need to put a wow in your step. You're guaranteed a presentation that is customized, provocative, commanding, motivating, and inspiring. Susan's spellbinding presentations include: Are you afraid of change? How to overcome fear to get what you want. Can you close the sale? Take your prospects from browsers to buyers in 5 easy steps. Are you tired of complaining and whining? How to create a life plan that puts you in charge.
The queen of questions and queries. The queen. I was never the queen of anything. I wasn't the prom queen, the homecoming queen, the snow queen, the parade queen. I was never a queen. Isn't it ironic that at this stage in my life, I'm finally the queen? Actually, the title, The Queen of Questions and Queries, came from a group of clients. I was teaching a workshop some time back, and that came out of the workshop. I was labeled the Queen of Questions because I just kept asking questions. It stuck, and it apparently seems to fit because people now resonate with the questions I ask, and they expect me to ask questions. So at this stage in my life, I am once and finally the queen of something. In this case, questions and queries. Communication can be absolutely baffling, or it can be crystal clear. Are you a clear communicator? Are you a mysterious communicator? Have you ever been in a conversation with someone when you have an out-of-body experience? You're physically there, the person is looking at you, and you are on some island, laying in the sun, basking on the beach. Here's a revelation for you. You cannot not communicate. Let me say that again. You cannot not communicate. Whether you're sitting at a table, having dinner by yourself, you are sending communication. Your body is expressing something. The expression's on your face. You might be in a conversation with someone in a fit of anger or frustration, and you say nothing. Trust me, you are still communicating. Our goal today is to unravel this communication mystery and provide you with very specific tools and techniques to help you better understand what gets in the way of our communication, what gets in the way of receiving communication, and how we can be more effective at both. Likewise, we are always communicating internally. It's what I call my head committee. My head committee has a lot to say, let me tell you. It talks 24/7, nonstop, whether I'm listening or not, awake or asleep, it's talking to me. One of the discoveries I made is that I didn't always like what it was saying. It turned out that my internal dialogue was influencing my external conversation. That became the filter that it went through. Likewise, the receiver of my communication has their own head committee and their own filters. So even though I might be aware of what I'm communicating very clearly and concisely, the recipient's head committee might be putting out so much interference, there is no way they can receive the message.
Susan's presentation impacted me personally because she gave me the permission to be myself, to look within my soul, to find out who I really am and how I can give that to others. And I just can't thank her enough for that experience.
Susan is an award-winning professional speaker, has been featured in Entrepreneur magazine, and is an active member of the National Association of Professional Women, which named her Woman of the Year in 2011. A PhD in business management, Susan's inquisitive, solution-based approach enables you to tap into the internal resources you never knew you had.
It's not unusual for audience members or for clients to become a bit uncomfortable with the questions when we start working together. People already have questions, and they might think, just give me the answers. I don't need more questions. When in fact, that's exactly what they need. But they need different questions that will reveal different answers that reside from within. It's not my answers. It's not my response that's important. It's their willingness to discover their own truth, their own response, and own it, because it's their answer. It's their life. It's not mine. I have my answers, I went through the pain and the anguish and the glory and the thrill of discovering new answers for me. And my hope, my expectation is that I can do that for each of my clients and for audience members. Because that's where the discovery is. It's within them.
Her questions revealed aspects of me I have never accessed. I feel like I can take on the world. Susan not only helped me in discovering my true passion, she also helped me get out of my own way. Susan's passion for effective communication and empowerment creates an ideal context for exploring new ideas. Susan works exclusively with women who want to take charge of their future today, right now. Her clients are ready to break free of constraints, limited thinking, and fear. Susan is like Alka-Seltzer, an effervescent dose that gives you relief.
Let's wrap this up for today. We talked about identifying the enemy within. That is resistance. Then we moved into discovering how resistance shows up in our life. It could be in anger, frustration, procrastination, confusion, apathy. Any number of emotions can come into play, or behaviors. Resistance has a role. Its purpose is to maintain status quo. I believe our goal in our life is to not accept status quo. Our goal is to strive to be more than we are, to discover our full potential, to step into our power, and yes, to live our purpose. Many of us have two lives, the life that we live each day and the life that we dream about living. My invitation to you today has been to implement the tools and techniques that we've shared so that you can give life to your dream. You can start living the life you dream of living. We have a choice, each of us on a daily basis. We can choose to stay as we are, to accept status quo, to live within our comfort zone, or we can choose to discover more of ourselves and to share more of who we are with others, to step outside of our comfort zone, to be more than what we are. It's your choice. It's your opportunity. And I would put forth to you that it is your obligation to choose to do so. Resistance is elusive. It wears many cloaks, many disguises. And for some of us, we've had years to perfect how resistance shows up. My invitation to you tonight is to discover ways to eliminate resistance from your life, to unburden yourself and move forward with freedom, with energy and enthusiasm. Resistance is invisible. It is not invincible. I invite you to make a commitment tonight, just one commitment, and that is that you will choose to eliminate one aspect of resistance from your life. And tomorrow, wake up with energy, excitement, and interest to be more than who you are today. There is nothing like the joy of seeing the moment in one of my clients' eyes or women in the audience when they all at once realize that they too can have their crown. It's just there waiting for them. There is more to them than they know.
For more information on how to book Susan for your next event and to help your audience transform their thinking, businesses, and lives, call 714-847-1566 today.
Questions unveil your answers for happiness and success.